Welcome back to another episode of Ebony Meets Business. Today we are talking about trusting your instincts. I am Ebony Evaughn. I coach corporate professionals and first-time entrepreneurs on how to turn their skills, talents, and expertise into ethical, profitable, online businesses. So, for today's episode, I really want to talk about trusting your instinct, and not only just trusting your instinct, but trusting your body compass, right? So, it's very interesting to me that the human body is so amazing. One thing that I realized when I broke my ankle is that I really took for granted how functional my bones and joints and muscles actually were, right? So when I first broke my ankle, I was on bed rest for 12 weeks, and then I had to go through physical therapy, which I'm still doing, and I had to learn how to walk again. But when I first started going to therapy, like literally I could tell a difference in the size of my legs, right? Like, of course, the one leg that I was hopping around on all the time still had its muscles built up. You know, it was still pretty strong, but the leg that I hadn't used in literally 3 months, it was very weak. It was noticeably smaller than the other one. And I didn't realize how much, like, I broke my ankle, but because I hadn't used my leg, my calf was weak, my thigh muscles were weak, my hips were weak. So I really had to retrain the lower half of my body, all because of my ankle being broken. And so it really made me realize just how intricate each part of the body is and how they all work together. And when it comes to building your business and dealing with the emotional and mental aspects of that, our body is a compass as well, right? So a good example of this and a story that I want to share is recently I had a coaching call with a young lady who had multiple different businesses, which none of them were currently producing, none of them were successful. And I asked her, well, like, which one do you want to pursue the most? Like, which one is the most important to you at this moment? And her mouth vocally said to me, both of them are important. But I had to point out to her how, like, her body was saying something different, right? So when she talked about the first business, we're just going to call them business A and business B. When she talked about the first business, I could visibly notice her body language. We're on a Zoom call, and I could notice how she was literally retracting as she was talking about this business, and it was really almost like the business was a burden to her. And so she had kind of leaned back in her chair, she had slumped over her shoulders, you know how she was talking about her head was kind of down, and you can tell by her body language that this business really was a headache. It was a burden. She was stressed out, frustrated, and overwhelmed. But when she was explaining business B to me, it was like she came alive. Like, she perked up in the chair, her shoulders were up, you know, her facial expressions were lit, and she was smiling. You could see it in her eyes. She was talking with her hands, and all of her body language had shifted from how she talked about business A. And so I pointed that out to her, and I was like, well, I know that you're saying that both of these businesses are equally important to you, but when you get off of this call, your homework is, I really want you to think about if that is really the case, right? And not only that, I gave her instructions like, if business B or if business A isn't producing, like, give it more time. Sometimes you do need to give things time. give it time and see if it starts to produce. If it does not, then you need to just let it go. Like you need to pivot into something different. And so I share that story to say that oftentimes we may think that we want something because based on external influences, whether it's family, friends, society, the gram, whatever it is, people may influence what we think we want for ourselves, right? And so you have all of these external factors that make you believe that you have to do something, that you need certain things, you have to have a certain way of life because society says that's what is acceptable, or that's what people think you should do, when it's not necessarily what we want for ourselves or how we want to conduct our business or even the business that we want to have. Sometimes you may go into one business because you think, oh, this is what's going to make me money. I see other people doing this, so I'm going to do it too. But it's not something that you're really passionate about. It's not something that you really love to do. It's not something that you're knowledgeable about or even want to do, right? Sometimes you can be good at something and not want to do it for a job or do it full time. It may be something that's literally just a hobby that you want to do when you want to do it. But that comes from you really being in tune with your self-identity, what you want at your core. Again, I talk about living from your soul and your true self, right? So it's all about tapping into who you are and what it is that you want for you without all the outside influences, without the external factors, without worrying about money or what people think or what society says. It's what do you want for you at your core. And so one way that you can do that is by really tapping into your body compass. Whether we like to realize it or not, our body really kind of can help navigate us in the right direction. Like, just think about times when maybe you wanted to do something and you kind of didn't feel right about it, and your body is like, you get a little pit in your stomach, and you're like, I don't know about that, I don't know, but you decide to do it anyways, and then later you find out, something goes wrong or things don't happen the way you expect, and you realize, like, I should have trusted my gut, right? I knew this wasn't going to work out. So I want to just challenge you to get into the practice of trusting your gut, really relying on your body compass and what your body is telling you that you need, that you should be doing, and really kind of using your own body compass as kind of your barometer for how you want to move in life, how you want to move in your business. And so just an example for me in this moment, I told you guys, like, after all the focus groups and just the things that have been going on in the coaching space, I'm in the process of really revamping and restructuring how I operate my own business, because I realize practices that I used to do in the past aren't necessarily in alignment with my values now. So I've just been trusting my own body compass and really just restructuring how I actually market my business. And so that is what I want you guys to do as well. Think about how you're operating in your business, in your life, and then just take an analysis and see, like, what does your body compass tell you? Are there relationships that you need to sever ties with? Are there things that you need to restructure in your own business, right? Really think about how you're operating day to day and start to really pay attention to your body compass and try to shift how you're operating in life and in business so that you're more in alignment with your true self and your body compass, so that you can really just thrive in life and in business. And I feel good about my current marketing strategies that I have already implemented. It's funny because I had a consultation with a client, and so she actually saw the post that I made about my focus group results or whatever. And so on the call, like, I did drop the link for her to enroll into the program, and I was just like, oh, here's the link, you can enroll when you're ready. And so she was like, I was hoping you didn't force me to sign up right now. And I was like, well, just to be transparent, that's what I normally would have done. Like, literally on a call, I do all of my calls through Zoom. So it's like, normally I would drop the link in the chat and say, oh, like, you can go sign up right now. I'll walk you through the process, right? And so I literally will give them the link, let them go to the page, choose their plan, enter their contact information, their card payment information, and then once they enroll and they get the notification, I'll just tell them the next steps. Okay, like, now you'll have access to the course content, and then I walk them through that process. So, but one thing that I realized doing that is, like, it really pushes some people away, and it really kind of forces some people into an agreement that they might necessarily not have been a good fit for, or something that they may not have really wanted to do, but they feel like they were obligated to do it just because they were on a call. They didn't know how to say no, or whatever the reason may have been. So it's really something that is like, is that the experience that I want people to have when they're getting ready to start a working relationship with me? And for me, that answer was no. So I had to really restructure how I was conducting those calls and how I conduct my webinars. So that is what I have for you today. Let me know. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments. Let me know in your own experiences. Has there ever been a time where you had to trust your body compass when it comes to making business decisions or life decisions? Or, like, if you're going to actually take the time to do a self-evaluation and get in tune with your body compass, then let us know your results or your experience in the comments, in the conversation as well. Thanks so much for stopping by my internet home. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you will be the first one notified when I upload the next video.